Hi, everybody. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well this Tuesday. Put the bins out. Wednesday evening, Wednesday afternoon for our American cousins. Hope you are all safe. Wherever you ready, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to become a member, think about it. Why not? For some of you who were members, you think, oh, I'm not a member anymore. Well, we've cancelled a few of the tiers. So you got cancelled and it got rebated for you. So if you want to join us again, please do. There's 2 tiers, nice and simple this time. Not this 4 or 5 different tiers, 2 tiers. And several of you already have, so I really, really appreciate it. As always, let's see, we've got the chat quickly and then we'll crack on. There's a lot of transfers to go for. As you said, what I like to do, still does a thing on Monday as part of the West Ham Weekly, the flagship show, and he puts together like a digest. And I did the same a few days later because actually there are a hell of a lot, and particularly now even more so, almost daily news stories. And there was one literally about 2 minutes ago, which I haven't had time to put into the thing. So that's what we try and do, come up with all the latest stuff, all the latest data, and all the latest rumours. And we've got a few. How many have we got today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8, just the 18. Just 18 today. And we've got a couple of doozies, couple of ones that you go, how the F has someone put 2 and 2 together with that one. So we'll go through them as we go through the show. But right, let's see, we've got the chat quickly. Good evening, Father Snowman. Hope you are well, my friend. Nice to see you. It's turning a bit cold, isn't it? It is definitely turning a bit cold at the moment. Hope you are all well. I'm just going to delete that one quickly and delete this quickly while I'm doing this. I can multitask. They say men can't multitask. Evening, Neil. Hope you're well. Fresh Fielder. Black Country. West Ham is no, it's not. It's me. It's not either of them. Why am I not part of that 3? It's 3 of us. Unbelievable. Neil, hope you're well. Even all from Australia. 7:15. Been watching Spurs v FA Cup. There's Carabao. Good to see Spurs. 2 own goals in the first half to be shut down. Indeed. Everyone's talking to themselves. No, never late. Aaron, I'm never late. It's me. You can tell when it's me. It's on time. I started 4 minutes ago and it's 12:04. Hello. Rumour is Moyes is after Bigfoot. Strong, fast, and turn to a striker, and we'll get the tourists in. Indeed. Harry and Henderson's. Stand up if you hate Tottenham. There we go. Everyone's talking to themselves. Evening, Neil. Mark, hope you're well, friend. Very soft up top. They don't seem the same team as the first half of the season. Barbosa, David Cabral, no thanks. David wasn't in that picture. But anyway, Aidan, good morning to you. Ludders, good morning to you. Frano, good morning to you. I totally agree with you. Huge ass up front. Huge ass. Bend over. Phil McCracken, all of them. They all got to come in. Evening, Adam. Hope you're well. Jonathan, hope you are well. Marcus, Kimbo. Oh, dear. Oh, keep going. Loving the opening music. Good. I like to see it. Russ, evening, Jonathan. Depay on loan makes loads of sense. I think it does, but we'll come to that in a minute. Nice. Simigal has been spotted. Old Boogers. Oh, don't tell me about Marco Boogers. The bane of my life, that man is. Everyone is talking to each other. Daniela, hope you're well. It's Russ and it'll be a great show. There we go. You see, Vinay, I totally agree with you. Russ, you'll do. It's tough times. We have to plug. It is tough times, but we have to, keep going. We've got lots to go through today, as always in my shows. And so let's start. As I said, I think we've got almost 20 today. We'll start with this one. Where is he? There he is. Lloyd Kelly. Good old Lloyd Kelly. Now my printer's decided to pack up, so I've got to read it from the screen. So obviously we are keen on Lloyd Kelly by the sounds of it, and reports by the Daily Mail says we're going to be imminently making a bid. Personally, I think Lloyd Kelly's. I think he's a really good addition. I think 23 and central defender, really impressed in the Championship so far this season. Be a very useful addition. The only issue is Bournemouth are doing really, really well in the Championship and could be, going straight back up into the Premier League. So would they be willing to sell someone, basically? He's averaged 1 interception, 4.9 clearances per game, He's won an average of 3.1 aerial duels. The 23 has made 74 passes per game on average, and he has about 84% success rate. The only fly in the slight ointment with Lloyd, and no one's really picked up on it as such, is he's 5'10". So where Oggy is 6'3", I think, he is a bit smaller. He's far from tall for being a centre back, but he has a very good leap. He's very athletic, as you can see by the amount of aerial duels, and obviously he's performed well in the Championship, which is traditionally more physical league. So I think this guy's quality. I like this guy. I really like Lloyd Kelly. I think he's a good egg. He's a good egg. So in terms of my Russie rating, the Russie Rumour rating, the original Russie Rumour rating, thank you, Clara and Hugh. I've noticed you've got that as well. The original Russie Rumour rating, I put 3.5. Because I think this guy's a good one. I really think he ticks a lot of boxes for me in terms of Moyes. We like to get Championship players. We like to get young, athletic, British players as well. He does tend to stick to British players in the Championship, like Bowen and stuff like that as well. So we'll see. I think this one's got legs. I really do. But it's up to Bournemouth. You know how much he'd cost compared to how much they'd gain is if they get promoted is far much more. So is it worth it? They might just hold on to him to the summer, and they'll be in the Premier League, and he'll be the cornerstone of their central defence. So we'll see what happens. But I believe he is left-footed as well, which is useful. And also, it means also that I think he can play left back as well. So we're going to continue our raid of the Championship and go with this guy. Rob Dickey's come back again. So apparently, according to The Athletic, we're eyeing up a potential move for Rob Dickey. Obviously, we know we need a centre-back, but The Athletic claim that the Hammers are one of 3 clubs chasing the 25-year-old. Again, I think could be a very useful addition. He's 6'4", big lad. So slightly taller than Ogbonna. So totally different, in terms of physicality to Lloyd Kelly, for example. He's an American No, that's not. That's wrong. That's not him. He's not an American international, is he? Is he an American international? No, I think someone's copy and pasted the Robinson stuff on top. But anyway, I think he is obviously a towering centre-back. He's been in good form for QPR this season. And for me, I think this is definitely another one I could see have legs. I think Lloyd Kelly, for some reason, in my head, seems more of a better fit for West Ham. But I think either would do well. So he gets 2.5. I think Lloyd Kelly is slightly up there for me in terms of who I think we're going to get. So let's have a look, see if we've got in the chat so far. Any thoughts? Kelly, quality. I knew it was Russ because the show wasn't Horbury Lake. Thank you very much, Epic. Can someone explain how to become a member? Because I still can't do it. If you're watching this on your phone, it's not as easy. I can copy, where's the thing? I can copy a link and post it in the chat when my computer wants to work. Can I? Yes, I can. So I can copy that. I'll post a link in the chat. If not, if you're watching on your desktop computer or an iPad or something, I think the join button is more visible. But there we go. Hope this one happens. But Bournemouth won't sell. Yeah, they won't sell unless it's a lot of money, unfortunately, I don't think. Raider Championship, Kelly, Tossin, I can't pronounce his first name, surname rather. Lewis Porter. I love Lewis Porter. I think he's a really good player as well. Can't get excited over Barbosa. David Cabral. Russ, what do you think of Coventry returning to us from his loan spell? We did a whole thing about this afternoon, Daniel, actually, about Coventry, about Anang, about Odebeko, and also reports are that Alves is going to come back from Sunderland as well. Right, everyone's talking to each other. That's nice to see. Evening, Rich. Hope you're well. 5 days into it, and still no one. Well, there's not many clubs who have bought anyone above Everton, and Newcastle might be buying Trippier, who's a 31-year-old. Whereas gone out. Funny, we start winning and it stops. Any rumours on DCC? Nothing's come through this week. I don't think nothing's come through this week, Frano. But that's what we're trying to update you with the latest ones. We'll go through a list of everyone we've been. If anyone's on Twitter or Facebook, I put together, and I was so proud of it. It's a list of everyone we've been, and up until yesterday, a list of everyone we were being linked to. And I did it to the tune of "We Didn't Start the Fire," and I called it "We Didn't Start the Rumours." And I'm so proud of it. It's the one thing in my life I'm very, obviously my daughter, and but it's a second thing. It's very good. Please check it out, please, because I was so proud of it. Right, Rob Dickey. Okay, let's go into next. Let's go left back. Another Championship player. Anton Robinson. Again, we've been linked with a move for the 24-year-old American international. American defender. Is he international? I don't think he's international as such. It might be. Yes, he is. A left back by trade. He's also versatile enough to do a job midfield as well, which he has done before several times. And I think he could become a major asset for West Ham, particularly obviously with Cresswell, the uncertainty with Cresswell, and also the fact is, moving forward, we're not going to have Cresswell for a long time. Particularly, we don't know how long he's going to be back into his back. He's 31, 32, isn't he? Not many years left, I don't think, at the top of his game. Robinson's 24. He's quick. He's quite tall for a left back as well. And I think he could be an interesting one, particularly as you said with Tosin as well, maybe as a duo. I think. What do I think? I think 3 out of 5. I can see it's happening again, but Fulham are playing quite well this season in the Championship, and so is I would love to do them a double deal with Robinson and Tosin, to be honest, but I don't think so. Pierre, I was a member, but now being refunded, don't have it anymore. Yes. So basically, as I said, Pierre, right at the beginning, in January we simplified. We took a few of the different tiers of membership away to make it easier. So it's one tier or the other. So for those of you in the middle tiers, you would basically have had a refund. So join again. You can join again. So whether you go for the lower tier or the higher tier, it's up to you. Totally up to you. But feel free to go back and join. We'll put the link again in the chat. So you've got it all in there. There it is. It's in the chat. So feel free to click on that link and you'll be able to go back into it. But we made that decision because it was getting very complicated, and then we can make sure with the 2 tiers we can definitely give the tier 1. I can't remember what we call it. I think we call it Premier League and Europa League. The Premier League guys, their sort of membership rights and all the perks, and same with the Europa League tier as well. So it was just making things a lot easier. As an American, I think he's okay, but has potential. That's why I think he's got potential. He's not the finished article at all. Unlike this guy, a lot of news about him, Lucas Digne. Now with Lucas, there's West Ham, Newcastle, as everyone is, Chelsea, and a 4th unnamed Premier League side are apparently all rivaling to sign the left back from Everton, according to Sky Sports News. Digne's fallen out, as we know, with Rafa Benitez, and they bought Patterson from Rangers. They bought the guy from Dynamo Kiev as well. Vilatile Miklenenko, something like that. So there's movement. They need to move someone, and so as I said, we're one of 4 teams, but they're looking at a price tag of £30 million, which I think blows us out the water a little bit. As I said, us, Newcastle, Chelsea, and the 4th named team are interested in him adding to the ranks, as well as Napoli. A Serie A club only wants to sign the left back on a loan deal, which I can't see happening. They're not going to be prepared to sanction that. They need to get some money back in my ideas. Selling Digne will bring in the cash for Everton this month. They're having splashed it out on 2 fullbacks already, but for 30 million, I can't see this one having legs with us, to be honest, at all. Great player, no doubt, the great player. The Rusty Rumour rating 2 out of 5. As I said, he's a great player, but for me, it's far too much. He's 28. And also he's on a lot of. Actually, Neil was about to say that 28, and he's on 90 grand a week. Apparently, it ain't happening. Not happening. I don't think so. Yes, love him, but not happening. We'll join after the Super Bowl. Unbelievable. Daniela was at work. So was I, but working from my desk. That's a bit different. Arsenal. Oh, you're talking about Man United. Oh, you can talk about Man United. Not going to happen. Can't see this one happening at all. As you said, it's far too much money. The wages are far too much as well. I think there's better options. I think someone like Anton Robinson is a better option. Same as someone like Lee Buchanan not Neil Buchanan from Art Attack, for those of you old enough to remember. But Lee Buchanan from Derby. I think they're good shouts as well. I think they're both better shouts, better money. There's still cost though, because obviously, people have seen how much money that Championship players, particularly British Championship players, can make. So Ollie Watkins and Bowen, Ben Wright, I'm the Brand Farmers, not British, but these championship players come with a price tag associated with them. So I think no, I don't think so. Let's move on. Chelsea. We're going to Chelsea now. Mylang Sarr. Now, this one has just come out in the last sort of day or so, but West Ham apparently asked about the potential of signing the Chelsea centre-back Sarr on loan, according to the French outlet Foot Mercato. It always sounds Japanese when I say it, but it's a French news website. The Frenchman 22 is currently out of favour at Stamford Bridge, playing just one Premier League game so far in the 21-22 season. Nevertheless, he's not keen on leaving temporarily this month, and the Hammers will need to convince him before for both the player and the Champions League defending champions in a deal. Torino, Strasbourg, and Watford, random teams, are also keen on him, but Tuchel will be reluctant to let him go. Obviously, Ben Chilwell out. Maybe they'll buy Digne and it'll free up a space. Who knows? As I said, they'll be reluctant to let him go until they've got a replacement in. Sarr could also line up in left back as well. And it is clear that you see why the Hammers are keen. Left-sided defender. He could do that and also give the Hammers centre-backs a run for their money as well. But he needs to be assured that he'll get chances to regularly feature for West Ham over staying at Chelsea. In the same way that maybe Zuma, in terms of the whole Zuma thing, that was a similar thing. He could have easily stayed at Chelsea, but he moved to get first team football. Maybe Sarr, but maybe he's a little bit younger. He's 22. He might want to stay around, hang around a bit in Chelsea. But I could see it happening. I could see something happening. And again, French connection as well with Zuma could be interesting. Diop's still around as a French connection. It could happen. It'd be interesting to see. I've put it down for 3 because I could see something happening, because you can see he wouldn't, in Chelsea's eyes, he's not like one of their top boys. So if we bought trying to get one of their top boys, they'll tell us to F off. But he's like one of the youth sort of developing, coming into the team. It could happen just to give him some development, 6-month line maybe. You never know. And I think only if you get Digne in, just like cover that position. Everyone's talking about the Super Bowl for some reason, but there we go. Thanks, Arthur Snowman, Father Snowman. He's a good player, says Tyler knows. Well done, Tyler. He's a good player, and I think the last French centre back we bought from Chelsea weren't bad, was he? He's all right. So why don't we go for another one? If you know where best to go, why don't you go back? Right, next one. There's this guy. According to my notes, his name is Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard. So apparently he's ready to leave. He's ready to leave Manchester United to move to West Ham this transfer window, according to the Daily Mirror. The saga continues. The 29-year-old has gone frustrated with Ranić after failing to get a Premier League start in this term, and he wants to leave right away, it says. While Lingard will be available for free at the end of the season, the Hammers are hoping to strike a deal at a cut price fee this month, and the Red Devils can be left with no choice but to sell him. West Ham fans are surely tired of hearing about Lingard potentially returning to the stadium after he opted not to last summer, following from his successful loan spell. Back in August, Stuart Pearce said on TalkSport that he would love to see the special player back. Now, for me, I'm just getting a bit tired of it now, to be honest. I think, I don't want this to drag on. If he's coming, let's get him in now, rather than drag it on for the rest of the summer, rest of the winter, because there's other options there. And it looks like in terms of the people we've been linked with, there's other options available as well. So I've gone from 4.5. I've gone down to 4 because it's just taking too long. It's doing my brain in. Exactly. Come home, Jesse. I know we're all bored of it, but I'm bringing you the latest information. I know Neil's bored with it. I'll take Lingard only if we get a striker. Lingard, welcome home, Jesse. Do we really need him or a striker and centre back at the club? Well, I mean, when he came in, everyone was like, "Oh, what a forward! We need a forward." He returned. What was it? 11 goals in his loan spell. You might not have got that out of a striker. So he did, but when will lightning strike twice if he comes back. If he comes back, I mean, there's options of Man United maybe offering him a 1-year deal so he can do a 6-month deal, and then they sell him in the summer to us. I don't know what's going to go on. I don't know. It's not that I don't want him, but But I think, do we need him? Good shout. I think, but as I said last season, we were in a very similar position, and until recently, actually, we was in a bit of a dive in terms of the just the buzz around the place. And he came in and gave a lift, not only on the pitch but off the pitch as well, it seemed. And I think until the last 2 games, we were in that similar position, and maybe he could have helped. Maybe he can help. Maybe he can help give us that bounce we need. We're struggling to sign players under. I think everyone's struggling at the moment with signing the players they want. COVID's making a huge difference. People are reluctant to sell players until they get players in, because that player may get COVID and then he has to play, and that's why I can't see many outs at West Ham. And I think it's quite a shrewd idea to get the 4 guys back on loan as well, because that pads out our squad a bit as well if need be. If he comes back, get him. If not, move on. Indeed, no one else plays the FFP. It's not the FFP, but I think it is. I definitely think, Celtic, not Celtic, Everton. Everton have bought a couple of players. They haven't spent mega money. Who else? Newcastle might buy Trippier for 12 million quid. That's penny change at the moment, isn't it? So I don't see loads of movement at all at the moment. I'm tired of Lingard camp for real. 1 week, want to go next. I don't think it's him. I think he's always waiting to go, but I think it's United's reluctance to get as much money as possible. We're competing with Man United now, so it seems they're going to be having this caveat of us going as well. I watched stream during the night. Oh, you're talking about you're talking about your it's your older Super Bowl. Well, I do like the Amazon programs, All or Nothing. They're very, very good. 16-19, not a bad return, was it? Lingard in, centre back. Johnson will cover left back. Sounds good. Are we back at the meat market? We are indeed. And still can't make a struggling Man United side. Indeed, we got Vlasic from now. Lanzini is going in superb form. I think we'll try and hold it after we play them. Then should by the weekend or forget it. Maybe good shout. Maybe by the end of because he came on and scored the winner, didn't he, against us? So Lanzini can drag us into the L. Get Lingard and turn area into a striker. Sounds great. Let's get area. The reason West Ham haven't bought anyone is the club don't want to pay over the odds of players. I think there's obviously they have a budget, same as everyone. But I think it's really hard at the moment to buy players. I really do think it's really hard to buy players at the moment because and also the pool we're fishing in is different than it was 18 months ago, 12 months ago for us. We're now seen amongst the greedy 6 as a competitor, where before we may have gone to Man United and got Jesse Lingard, and they would assume, West Ham are the top, bottom half. We're not now. So I don't want us to go and buy someone in the bottom half of the league who's not going to improve our team. So again, it means that more money comes. We have to spend more. I don't know. Lanzini is almost like a new signing. I totally agree. Dele Alli, we spoke about Dele Alli. He's no mention of him this week though. Thankfully, they'll move under the bus and then say try. I don't think so. Honestly, Moyes is picking right guys for the job. We still want that. So exactly, he might be different, but he ain't got a bad hit rate apart from maybe Hugo, bless him. He hasn't got a bad hit rate, does he? He's signing at West Ham. Manu's got a new lease of life. I think Lanzini that may well have scuppered this a little bit and also news that Zuma's going to come back in January, a little bit end of the month, a little bit earlier. That might as well. Don't know. Barry head in shame if you doubted Lanzini. Do you know what? I'll be honest. I did a little bit. I thought there was too many injuries. The thing about Lanzini is he's played better when he's got other good players around him. When he was at his best was when he was with Payet. Payet was arguably technically a better player than him, but they were one off each other. Then he gets injured. Payet leaves. He comes back. He's the jewel in the crown. He's the diamond. I think it was too much for him. He didn't have the skillful players around him. Now he's got Ben Rama. Now he's got Bowen. Now he's got Vlasic. Now he's got these players around him. They can bounce off each other. There we go. Anton's in the chat. Everyone, my friend, how are we all very well? Who was Lingard? I'll have him, but I don't know. I'll have him, but not the detriment of a centre back. Let's move on. We've got more midfielders to go through. We've got this guy, Anton Barack, from Hellas Verona. We've spoken about him before, but apparently we're showing serious interest in the race to sign him as the Czech influx continues. The website Tuta Mercato Web, we all know that, we all subscribe obviously, report that it's West Ham who have moved in the most convincing way. How do you move in a convincing way? This way, this way. Move in a convincing way to sign Barack this month. Other Verona players are light, but it seems that Barack is the most likely to be sold to bring funds into the club. La Harina reported that Atalanta, AC Milan, and Inter Milan all want to sign him with a £17 million price tag. It's West Ham who are allegedly most likely to sign him in what could be a significant January move. He's 27. He's bagged 5 goals and 3 assists in 15 Serie A appearances this season already. He's a 6'3" tall lad, so very similar to Thomas Souček, but he's more like a number 10. So Souček, but at the Lanzini position, technically gifted, great left foot, could bring something very different to the West Ham side. And he's a Czech international, so he'll fit straight in. He's a quality player, but do you really need him at the moment? You know, is he seen as an alternative to Jesse Lingard? He's a few years younger, but an unknown quantity, to be honest. So who knows? Who knows? In the old Russie Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, enough of that Claret and Hughes stuff. I put 2 out of 5 because I don't think we've got the money. I don't think we'd spend 17 million quid on someone who's unproven in this league. But you never know. Danny Kudrinski, you never know with some people. What we got? Hi all, Russie's. I totally agree. Screenshot that. Get it trending. Hi all, it is indeed Anton this evening. He is God. Apparently, fair enough. We're upset so many clubs by agreeing fees and going back and negotiating after the supporters showed them what they are. Fair enough. I would definitely have Lingard, Noble, and I'll definitely have Lingard, Noble, and Yarmogon in the summer. We'll offer loads for the rest of the season. I totally agree. No guarantee will be as good as before. I totally agree as well. I am God. Thank you very much. I'm not still. Is Barack CDM? No, he's an attacking midfielder. Where was the last signings come from? Well, I mean, the last signings were, Souček and Soufal, they were both Czech players. But this guy's from the Italian league as well. So it's not even from the Czech league. He's playing for Verona, playing good football. He's playing regular football as well. So, the site, if you fancy from Master Club, sign him up. I like what I'm seeing. Spuds in the mud, indeed. 2-0 to Spuds at the moment. Would you take Christian Eriksen free transfer with his heart condition under control? Yes, I would. To be honest, I think free transfer. I think the only prerequisite is he has to have the special defibrillator, and that's it. That's all you need for. And I think on a free transfer, I think it'd be a shrewd buy personally, but that's just me. Go back to Championship. This guy, do you know who this guy is? John Swift. John Swift from Reading. According to X, we're interested in bringing the Reading midfielder John Swift to London Stadium this month. However, a January winter transfer move could prove slightly difficult with the Championship outfit not likely to be open to selling this month, but the Irons will continue to keep tabs on him. Swift has bagged 8 goals and 9 assists in 22 games this term and is a solid return for someone in his position. Obviously, we want Moyes wants Jesse Lingard, but if that doesn't happen, Moyes has identified a contingency plan and will move for the Reading star, it says, according to X. But the Majestic, so but Reading are the 21st in the league, losing their best player midway through the campaign is the last thing they really want. However, a huge bid by the Irons could force their hands, and it remains to be seen whether the club are ready to splash the cash. While Swift could help add goals in midfield, signing obviously a forward and a centre back, maybe more of a priority, but he might be an alternative. Who knows? The old Bud and Rumour ratings put 2.5 because we know that Moyes loves a Championship player. There we go. Russ has definitely swapped the Minge for the milk trays for sure. Probably has calling cards. No, always keep a Minge close to hand. You always keep your Minge close to hand. As I said, I'm getting used to these thermals. I bought them for Lapland, and actually we probably need them now because it's getting cold around here again soon. Quite a few West End contracts. They are indeed. There's loads. We did a show a few weeks ago about Moyes and all this free transfers. It's ridiculous the quality of players who are available to free transfer. Who we can do a pre-contract negotiate agreement now for the end of the season. It's mental, but it means there's some deals to be had. If they've got 6 months left in the contract, you might be getting ready. We are in the top 6. We need a higher caliber player. We need to spend more. Last time we was in this position, they didn't back him and it ruined the season. Got to splash the cash. There we go. Insurance will rule out. Apparently it won't. Apparently it won't in the UK, for example, in Britain. It will in Italy and a few others, but not in Britain, apparently. I think it's all about having the right defibrillator. They leak all the names of the places, but it is whoever we sign, name all over them. I trust Moyes with championship signings after the success of the past three. As I said, maybe not Hugel, but he's had a bad hit. I don't think he's had a bad hit at all. Anyway, let's move on. We've got loads of forwards to get through. Oh, let's crack on. Here we go. First one, Gabriel Barbosa. Now we've all heard about him in the press recently in the last few days. He's apparently very impressed by David Moyes, and apparently talks were underway. Now there was talk of an 18-month loan deal with a 30 million. So that's bollocks. Nothing's going to happen. But apparently there is another deal on the table, which was a shorter loan with a fee attached to it, and the money spent in the summer. But I don't know how much that's meant to be believed, to be honest. Is obviously we're exploring. Gabby Gold he's scored a shed load of goals for the Brazilian league. He wants to give it another crack in Europe. He didn't do the job at Inter Milan. He's on about 58k a week in Rio de Janeiro, and whether he'll be happy to be maybe second choice to Antonio when Antonio's fit, I don't know. But he can play wide as well. So Moyes could even play two up front. And we have seen some flexibility in terms of David Moyes' his tactics as and when required. The thing about a lot of these players are you're thinking, why are they coming? Well, they're going to be in the shop window for Qatar. And he's played a few games for Brazil. He wants to secure a place in the squad. So playing in the top league in the world, to be honest, and scoring goals for a top six club could be persuasive for the Brazilian coach. Maybe I think no, that's meant to be 3.5. Anyway, you know what I mean. I think 3.5. I think he'd be interesting. Alone, I wouldn't want to spend 30 million quid on him off the bat, to be honest. Yes, he might want to prove himself, but I think a loan deal, with like 5-6 million quid attached to it, that for me sounds quite good. I think that sounds quite good. I like him, but Brazilians don't work out for us. But that was the oldest. What about that Andy Carroll bloke at Reading? I've heard about him. Barbosa's the best in Brazil. He's a great player. He's indeed. Moyes asked about players about Brazil, and they said they would go to now. And if you are talking about Brazilians, Manscaped, 20% off on checkout if you use the checkout code WESTHAM Network and free shipping. Apparently, Moyes has said no to him. Came about an hour ago. Do we believe it? Do we not believe it? Is it a smokescreen? We know David Moyes loves a smokescreen. Captain Barbosa, don't know enough about him. Is he any good? Why is he still in Brazil? Well, he was playing for Inter Milan and he didn't make it. I think he went on loan to Spain as well in the Liga. Came back and started smashing them back in Flamengo. Not Flamenco, as I kept on saying, Hole, but Flamengo. And so he wants another crack. He's 25, so he's young enough. It's not like it's the last hurrah. He's not silly. He wants to make some serious money. You're going to make serious money in the European leagues, aren't you, really, compared to Brazil? And he's smashed Brazil already. As I said, it's something ridiculous, his goal record for them in the league. So loan deal, I'd fancy it. Loan deal has got another failed Brazil written all over him. Ilian did all right for us, indeed. Ilian, love him. Pele played his whole career in Brazil, apart from when he obviously played in America. It is the bloke for Flamengo. There we go. Got a good feeling about this one. I do as well. Barbosa's not coming. I said he's forgetting the deal and moving on. We'll see what happens. Source from Gio. We'll see. We know Moyes. It might be a scapegoat. Say, oh no, I don't fancy it. No. And then for me, oh, you sure you don't want to buy him because he doesn't want to go to Newcastle. That's for sure. Pele played with Moore in America. He did. Better options for crazy money. I do, but I think for a loan deal could be. I like the lad. When I asked Craig Doyle, he said he put Still's reputation on signing him. Well, we did ask him about Jonathan David, and he gave us. He said it would be really good for us. Could have Firmino last to replace the Hammerettes. Bring him back. We'll talk about Cabral. We'll talk about Cabral in a minute anyway. But it could be another Yeti. I don't think so. Right, let's move on. That's it. That's better. Hlozek, Adam Hlozek's come out of the woodwork again. He's been a bit quiet, but he's come back in. Apparently, according to the Daily Mail, we're moving for him. It claims that the Hammers like the idea of signing him this month. And obviously, you know, I mean, I mean, to be honest, this was the guy I've always wanted because I just think he ticks a lot of boxes. Not this season; he hasn't scored loads this season. Last season he had 15, 8 assists in 19 games. This term he's got 5 goals, 11 assists in 18 games. I just think he ticks a lot of boxes for me. He's young, he's 19. He's not going to be. I think if anyone you get in, if it's a Cabral, if it's Barbosa, if it's some of the others, which I can't believe we ever got me linked to, but it's like he's young, he can adapt, and I think he could come on and offer a big difference. I just think he could be the right option. And we obviously Krasinski being, owning Sparta Prague as well. Anyone puts a bid in for him, no, he'll go to West Ham. There's that. I know that doesn't happen, but could do. For me, I think there's a real. I put 4. I think this is since this last summer. I really think that man is coming. That man is coming, says Frano. Not being negative on purpose. I don't trust anything about them. Just don't change. But I think it's a different world, Alex. I think we've got Rob Newman in now. They've released the funds, so to speak, to him, and he's going to be doing it. We've got the analytics team. It's a different team. It's very different at the moment. Also, it looks great on YouTube. Yes, we wouldn't be able to say. No, so I mean, he wouldn't jump straight in. But do we want? Yeah, but for me, I think Antonio's doing all right. He hasn't got injured yet. Touch wood. But he could come on and make a difference, Hlozek. And I think he can play wide as well, which is also useful to have. And give him the experience. He won't come in wanting to be the number 9. And I think you won't have that friction. I know Antonio says he wants competition, but does he? He's never had competition. This guy would offer competition, but from a young upstart type position rather than as a fully fledged international, for example, although he has played. But you know what I mean? Sort of, he's not developed. He's only 19. He has the build for the Prem. I look good in the black. People say I look all right in the old black, so I look quite good in it. I think we give him a loan first. The price they want, it's not worth risking him out. Yeah, true, but he's 19. So even if you spend a lot of money for him, he's got a West Ham pedigree on him then. So you could flip him if he's no good. And you'd still almost make your money back, I'd say, to be honest. Has potential, but is more of a future signing. That's what I mean. He's a future signing. Get this kid in before any club does. 11 assists is right up there. I mean, it's the assists as well, not just the goals, but the assists. And West Ham like to spread the goals around a bit. So there we go. Don't get me wrong, looks great at his age, but they're completely different leagues. No, they are, totally. I think he's the sort of player that you only get one chance to sign. Bang on. I think you're bang on Aaron there, to be honest, mate. I guess he's been playing on the wing mostly. Who is this young guy? Adam Hlozek. I don't think Moyes is silly. Might be overcautious indeed. I don't think he's overcautious. You don't. I mean, he has basically created something really special at West Ham at the moment. The team bond there is extremely special. There's a reason we did so well behind closed doors, because it was the team, and it's not the 11 players on the pitch. It's the squad. It's the other 23s. It's the backroom staff. He has got that club as a unit, the playing staff and the coaching staff. You don't want him to disrupt that. So that's why I don't think there was any. I don't think someone like Digne. He seems to be a bit of a rotten egg. Would he work? Would he work? I don't know. Right, let's move on. We've got plenty more. This guy, Mbappe, not Mbappe. We're not signing Mbappe just yet. Bamba Dieng. Bamba Dieng. Apparently, we're a number of leading clubs keen on the Marseille striker, according to the Daily Mirror today. Newspaper reports that the Hammers face competition from Villa, Crystal Palace, and Newcastle. Surprise, surprise, for the Senegalese international. He's 21, and David Moyes wants obviously to boost his attack in the second half of this season. But it remains to be seen whether the the Liga outfit will be ready to cash in on Dieng midway through the season. He scored 4 times in 19 appearances in Liga and the Europa League, but has been likened to a young Sadio Mane. Given his pace and build, he seems like a player capable of hitting the ground running. Should have moved the Premier League workout. Senegalese legend El Hadj Diouf dubbed the youngster a great striker last September, comparing him to Didier Drogba due to the playing style. And didn't Didier play for Marseille? Interesting player. This guy's an interesting player. Yeah, you're right, Pierre. Last person we signed from Marseille weren't too shabby, was he? Weren't too shabby. Dimitri Payet. That was it, Payet. And obviously we were looking at DCC and Kamara as well. We're looking at the whole bloody Marseille team, to be honest. I like this guy. I know what you mean. Didier Drogba and Mane are totally different. Which one is it? I think he's got the pace of Mane. I'd like to think he's got the pace of Mane and the physicality of a Drogba. Sign him bloody up. If that's the case, sign him bloody up. I'm only putting him down. I'm putting him at 3.5 because again, he ticks a lot of boxes, but I think he's going to be overpriced. I think they're going to, it's midway through the season and he hasn't set the world alight in the Liga, but there's potential there. And again, it's a different name to talk about. Unlike this guy who we've already mentioned today, Memphis Depay. Hello, my ears have pricked up. I'm a big fan of Depay. So apparently West Ham are interested in signing Memphis Depay in the January transfer window, according to Spanish outlet El Nacional. The Netherlands international, 27, is out of favour under new boss Xavi, with the club president Laporte now looking to cash in for around 50 million euro, 42 million quid for those of you in sterling. The Hammers face stiff competition from Newcastle for Depay's signature, but they could have the upper hand due to the position of us in the league, and David Moyes could do with such a player right now. I mean, he's a great player, isn't he? He has lots to prove in the Premier League, and a return could be appealing. Would love to strengthen our attack as well, but partnering with 40 million quid could prove to be difficult. Let's be honest. While he impressed at Lyon, ending 2020-21 with 20 goals and 12 assists, he struggled at Man United for 6 years, and that will remain fresh in our minds. I mean, since he left Man United, he's done really well. I think. I mean, it was fits and starts at Man United, but not consistently. He's bagged it for Barcelona. Obviously, Koeman brought him in, Dutch manager at the time brought him in. He bagged 8 goals and 2 assists in 15 league games. But since, and apparently Koeman dubbed him dangerous in August, but I think on the pitch, hopefully. And that appears to have caught the eye of the Hammers. I mean, Barcelona are keen for an outright sale. And obviously that could give someone like Newcastle an advantage because they've got money on the hip. But would he want to go to a team that is basically going to be relegated? Probably, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'd love him. I love Depay. I think he's a fantastic player, particularly when he moved back to Lyon. But I just don't think we've got the money. I just think it's too much money. Although he's in his prime, isn't he? He's in his prime, so there's no potential. There's no future signing. You can't sort of flip him. He's paying 40 million. You're going to sell him for 60 million. Are you in 5 years' time? You're going to be lucky to get 10 million quid. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be overpriced, to be honest. But maybe a loan deal. You never know. It might get him in a shop window. I've put him for 2.5 because I'd love him. I would love him. I would like Depay. Nah. I'd Willie sneeze if we got him. I think Depay is great, but I don't think we'd spend that much in him. I totally agree. Would almost fit perfectly in the end. That's what I mean. He wants a player who fits in the Antonio role. He does, and he's definitely quicker. Surely he's quicker. But I think you're too right. I think the price tag and wages overpriced, even if it's a summer. Don't see anything special. As Jonathan Davis, sorry, Depay just won't happen unless that's what I mean. Maybe a 6-month loan deal. You never know. Rather Hlozek and Cabral and 20 million quid change. Can't see us getting him over price. Okay. He was league. Apparently he's a hard worker, which is exactly our style. Again, Jonathan David. No worries, Martin. Go back. We've got plenty more to come to. We've got some doozies. We have got some doozies coming up soon. He's a striker to run and chase down for aggression. I think Depay does that. Russie's right. He's too old. We devalue. Thank you very much. Russie's right. It's hard to see any of these passing the Moyes personality test. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. On the pitch, I think Depay is a fantastic player. Oh, Dr. Pepper today. Nice change. Anyone signing would be mad not to get out, of course, if they're relegated. Well, I hope Trippier does. I mean, that's a part. I mean, they've done a great deal for Trippier, 12 million quid. Need a right back, great right back, but he's 31, and he's quite old. He's older than I thought he was. Right, okay, let's move on. We've got some doozies. This is here we go. This is my lowest, just as a precursor. And all I do is I deliver the news. I deliver the latest transfer gossip to you guys, rather than you having to, worry about it. This one, I mean, everyone laughed at Hazard. This one to me is even. I think this one's even worse. But it was reported. It was reported by the Spanish publication Sports that West Ham and Newcastle reportedly in a battle with Barcelona in the pursuit of the beleaguered Arsenal forward Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Apparently, Barcelona and West Ham are among the clubs courting the star in the January transfer window. We've been desperate to search for a striker after Halle left. And to that end, Aubameyang is an option worth considering. Bollocks. This is absolute bollocks. But I put it up there because it came through. And that's what we do. We go through it. We give you our opinions. Absolute bollocks. So literally, that's the lowest. I never put 0, but that is the lowest percentage I've ever given on a rating. GP would love him. Definitely. I hope Newcastle spend a fortune and get relegated anyway. He's on something like 350 grand a week. I don't know how Barcelona can afford him. They just bought bloody Torres for 50 odd million. Imagine him in the dressing room. Could you imagine? No, I mean, basically, he wouldn't even get the first question of the Moyes personality test, would he? To be honest, next indeed. But I put it in because that's what we do. We give you the latest information, latest rumours, and then we all know it's bollocks. Right. Let's get some people who we might have a chance of getting. Cabral. Let's talk about Cabral. So apparently West Ham have informed the representatives of the Basel striker of their intentions to make a formal bid, according to Gol Brazil. The Hammers are planning on doing that before January the 6th. Well, it's the 5th. You better fucking know up. And the Swiss club want around 12 million quid for the 23-year-old Brazilian striker. Cabral would want around 2 million quid in wages per year to agree the move. And West Ham are aware of his demands. The strikers party now looking to work things out so they can move to the Premier League before the end of the winter transfer window. The Irons have to bolster their attack. As we know, he's bagged 27 goals and weighed in with 8 assists across all competitions so far this season. He's also on the radar for Barcelona and Newcastle. That's a shock. So West Ham will need to make the move as quick as possible. He scored 18 goals and 4 assists in 39 games in his first season before falling out of 20 goals and 3 assists last season. He's someone that West Ham could bring in. He's versatile, can play on the wing as well, and behind the striker, but he's not particularly rapid. He's a forward. So for me, I could see this one happening just because there's a lot. Because I think Barbosa, I think Gabigol, there's a higher price tag, but also I just don't think this guy plays in the same formation as we play in, the 4-2-3-1, and so there's parallels there. But unlike Antonio, who would run down the channels, he'll tend to be more of a focal point, which I think we've lost. We need quite often. So it'd be quite interesting to see him. Let's see what. Yes, no, he plays in a crap league. Fair enough. Minus that one, indeed. In terms of Aubameyang, COVID tests need to be declared to the FA. Are taking advantage. There we go. I want Cabral, but I also wanted Haller. As I said, I'd have had Haller under David Moyes. I still think Cabral. Yes. Value potential well worth 12 million quid for a 23-year-old international. As soon as you sign for West Ham, you could, if he's crap, then you could, if not, well, not his crap. Maybe he hasn't. You could send him to a Spanish club or something like that for, because he's Brazilian. They tend to go back to Spanish clubs, to be honest, for 10 million quid or whatever. I mean, so you would make your money back, I think, on him. If he's brilliant, you could double your money, triple your money. I mean, for me, this one, I really think this one's a no-brainer. I really think. I can see it more and more because he's got potential. He knows where the back of the net is. Yeah, it's the Swiss league, it's the Swiss league. But I think there's legs in this one. I prefer to loan him, but that's just us now. We're used to this try before you buy, and if I was Basel, I'd say fuck off. It's 12 million quid. You take him or you don't take him, or you spend 6 million quid on a loan fee. And you spend the other 6 million after. It doesn't happen anymore now. Cabral will be a big boob, might win us a cup or two. A big boob. What's 2 million? I don't know. Is that including tax? Where's my phone gone? Did I bring my phone down? Where's my phone? Hey Siri, where's my phone? Oh, don't matter. I'm bored. But I don't know what it is. But anyway, sign Origi. Last player we signed from Basel was a flop, indeed. But just because you signed one player from Basel doesn't mean, I like his technique of managing to score all sorts of goals, and he gets assists as well. He's a predator, but he does come in. We ain't signing no one, says Vinny Bones. Mark's been saying this all day long. At 23, be improved, can finish, but have to wait 5 minutes to catch up. I think his play style fits with our play styles. Physical, high, good quality and young. Evening, Pete. Hope you're well. Get him into Pierre. A definite maybe, indeed. Cabral all the way. 38k weight. Good work. Whoever we get will be the cheapest option. No one is coming in. Moyes is trying to get Lingard in. No one will come in. We'll wait and see. Trini, 2 minutes around 35k a week. That seems all right. That's so cheap, big potential, and not risk a lot of money. That's what I mean. Must have left my phone somewhere. What an idiot. That's what I mean. There's a lot of potential there. And as I said, you're not going to go and buy, we're not going to spend 50 million quid on a striker, and teams in the Premier League aren't going to sell us their players, and then the top echelons. Someone says Origi. There's no way we're going to get Origi in January. No way, unless it's involving Bowen. Do you want to get rid of Bowen? That's the only way that Liverpool will let you get him is by 1 in, 1 out. The only way. And even that won't be, because obviously the AFCON, they haven't got Sane, they haven't got Mane. The only time I think we'll ever get Origi, potentially, I mean, he's 26 now, will be in the summer when he's available on a free transfer. That's the way I can see it. I won't real push line on like I get a top. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. What we got here? So Cabral can work. Is that 12 minutes? Yeah, that's what I mean. You heard it first. No one's coming in. As a third choice, Cabal's run, but we need ASAP a first teamer. I don't think we'll get a first teamer, mate, but we never know. You never know. Alves was, but I think I was reading that. I think it's Man United are putting a bid in for him, or Nunez as well, and Alves at 21. I think that's a flash. I honestly don't think we'll be able to compete with the big boys on that. That'll be a big boys one, and that'll be we'd have already get him. Yeah, and as I think Alves, heavily linked. I mean, 21. Fantastic, for River Plate, but I don't think we're not in that league yet. I think someone like Cabral, and there's potential there. We're not, and I thought they were, I mean, 12 million quid nowadays is a bit of a punt, isn't it? It's a bit of a punt. Most, Bowen was 17, or 17, 19, so was Souček. I think for 12 million quid, 35k a week, obviously he'd be on 60, 65, 70k, probably double his money. I think that's a good punt. I really think that's a good punt. Don't think we'll spend it on a player. But yeah, that's what I mean. And Moyes doesn't do that. He's not a guy, so I think he'll get these guys in like Cabral where it could happen. I really do think. Right, let's move on because we've got a few more. Sign your name across my heart. I want you to be my baby. Another forward, Antonio 2.0. Embolo. I like him. I like this guy. West Ham apparently looking to sign Embolo from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Apparently, The Sunday People reports that West Ham have the 24-year-old firmly on their radar. The attacker is not the most prolific frontman. Welcome to West Ham. With 61 goals in 239 games from Mönchengladbach. However, he has 4 goals and 4 assists in 13 games this season, and he's considered to have the sort of game that could translate well to English football. He's known for his pace, his power, and will be the perfect replacement for Antonio. So very much Antonio 2.0, if and when required. He's been capped 50 times for Switzerland, and it is rumoured he's available for 30 million quid. Now, if you put up Embolo against Cabral, for me, Cabral seems the better deal because there's less. Although he's played in the Dutch in the German, he's playing in the German league. He's 30 million quid. Is he twice the player that Cabral is? I mean, he's 24. So if he had a really, really good time at West Ham, you could. I mean, I know we keep talking about selling on value. And maybe we shouldn't look at that anymore now because we're a different type of club now. We're not a trading club. We're a top 6, top 8 club now. So I don't know. You play when the Euros, and like Rooney doesn't show. Okay, anyone would do rather than watching Yarmolenko. He was quality the Euros. Trouble is, we are after his 30 million. We offer 10 million. They tried it. 30 million quid though. He does, and you're right, he does have a history of injuries. I think but before the Euros, he just came back from injury as well. You lot think because we linked it is true, there's been no, that's what I mean. And really, it's not. We literally just bring you the rumours, and we know most of these are bollocks, and we take the mickey out of them anyway. As I said, I did a whole thing on Twitter. We didn't start the we don't make no. Was it we didn't learn the rumors? We don't make up the rumors. And I did the whole thing, and it was like Toshin Adebola, Dele Alli, Alaves. I just went through the whole one. It's ridiculous. Apparently has a response that Canary. Well, of course he was. And Bola was a pretty full injury. Well, fit straight in. He really is. Even more so an Antonio 2.0. Hamstrings are worse than the meat-eating Antonio. Unbelievable. When he's on fire, you can't deny he's a good player. 3 out of 5 because you can see. But the reason is Moyes has got, he's got that sort of Moyes thing about him. He's an Antonio type player. Those are the types of players that Moyes likes. Right, a couple more. We've got this guy, Mariano Diaz from Real Madrid. Apparently, we are entering the race to sign him, who's also been on the radar of Atletico Madrid and Seville. That's according to Spanish outlet El Nacional. We're apparently lining up a January raid for him. He's 28. He's signed for forcing to right. Mariano has the number 7 shirt upon his return from. He went to Lyon. He's down the pecking order. 65 appearances for the. I almost said the Meringues, but that's. Merengues. I said the Meringues. The Merengues netting just 11 goals, out of favour by Ancelotti. A move away has been touted, whether it's Seville, whether it's Atletico Madrid or further afar. He popped up on the Hammers radar because of that. Looking for a transfer fee of around 20 million euro, which is about 70 million quid, 80 million quid. I think there's more cost effective and better options. I'd rather Cabral over Diaz, to be honest. That's my opinion. So a very, very short one. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5 for him. Next one, it's been tattered a little bit. Anwar El Ghazi. As per the Football Insider, there's been an update. We have been looking at Aston Villa's Anwar El Ghazi. What's it say here? West Ham exploring a January plotting a January move for El Ghazi, who's struggling for game time. Apparently, the Moyes sees the forward as capable of spearheading his attack through the centre as well as out wide, with Steven Gerrard's side set to green light a sale for the player this month. While the Villains would prefer a permanent deal, it's believed that they are open to the possibility of a loan deal. El Ghazi was a bit player this season, but his performances are times over the 2021 season point to a player who could be very useful. He's scored 10 goals in 17 starts for Villa, and he's averaged 2.4 shots and 90 minutes. with only Antonio making more attempts among the West Ham squad this year. But, attempts makes different, on target's different. And then the Netherlands international has been called unstoppable in training by former teammate Alan Hutton, who was glorified. He's glorified El Ghazi with his outstanding form at the time. Depending on the price, or if West Ham can agree a temporary deal, it could happen one way or the other. And Newman and co, given his aforementioned ability to score prolifically in the English top flight, might be a bit of an interesting one. What we got in the chat? Yes, we must sign him. He can cross as good as Cresswell. Will Moyes be looking at a loan and wait until the summer? Maybe not a reason to get too excited now. Could be a loan deal. And that's something. Villa, we're in the league above Villa, aren't we, really? Let's be honest at the moment. So, yes, I could see something like this happening on loan, possibly. I could see something like Leicester having a go at him as well, to be honest. And so, yeah, El Ghazi, yes, tick box. And I think, I can see why. I don't think he's the striker we want. Maybe he's an alternative to Jesse as well. If Moyes, maybe this is like the plan B if Jesse doesn't come. So I put 2.5 because I'm still hopeful of Jesse coming. But I can see this one having legs. And it seems that sort of slightly off the radar one, which you would assume that someone like Rob Newman will be putting under David Moyes' nose, because it's not an obvious choice. And that's the thing, that the names we're getting linked with aren't obvious choices as such now. And I quite like that. I quite like it. Last one is this guy, Ben Brayton Diaz, Diaz, Benny Boy Diaz, we'll call him. Apparently he's going to cost 30 million. So again, he's going to cost a lot of dollar in January, according to a new report from Team Talk. West Ham are reportedly interested in the deal to sign him, who has been in incredible form this season, single-handedly driving the club's promotion hunt as they look to climb back to the Premier League. He's scored 20 goals in 25 games, and the new report claims that Blackburn will demand a big fee because they're doing quite well in the league. He's only 6 months left in his contract, though, so it's a risk if they don't sell him. But Blackburn are strengthening by the fact that they have the option to extend his deal by another year anyway. So despite the fact he's got 6 months left, they can exercise another year at the end. And they remain keen on him at the club, and they've said to be aware of his price and have drawn comparisons to Ollie Watkins when he went to Villa. He cost 30 million from Brentford. Obviously, Ben Rama, 25 million. Taking that deal as a comparison, you can see why the reports have put 30 million quid in him. I think he's basically going for a bit of a purple patch at the moment, to be honest. He wasn't doing much. He was floundering around Stoke and various other clubs. He got into the Chilean side, and then he's absolutely hit the ground running and gone absolute schizo in terms of he's been scoring loads of goals. So I think it's a purple patch. So they might sell him, be absolute dross at the next year, or they offer him that 1 year extension. I've put 3.5 because I can see it happening, but for 30 million quid, no, I couldn't, not at all. No, I just think Mark says no. Fluke merchant. You watch a lone player in the end of Jesse ain't coming. Vinny, you're fun, aren't you, Vinny, today? So for those of you interested, let me make this full screen so you can see. There we go, make this full screen. So currently we have been linked with 20. So this is just on my shows, not anyone else. But in terms of reports I've gone through, 27 forwards. We've been linked with 27 forwards. If you include a sort of attacking midfielders as well, so forward players, 42 forward or attacking midfielders. Considering we've only got like 4 positions. In terms of, say, the 4-2-3-1, we've got 3 sort of attacking mid and 1 to. There's a lot on there. Nuno's on it. We've mentioned Nunez before. We mentioned Nunez. We've mentioned Olivier. We've mentioned these all the guys we mentioned over the last few weeks. So there, he's very good, very good. Darwin Nunez from Benfica. And also you've got Olivier, who's from Braga. He's very good. So there's a whole host of names, and to be honest, out of that, I think we've signed Callum Marshall. He's 17 from Linfield. We've actually got tomorrow night. We've got George McCartney on tomorrow night. West Ham left back. Many times he played for West Ham, Northern Ireland International. He's doing a live Q&A tomorrow night on the show. And he's currently, I believe, he's coaching at Linfield. So I'm going to ask him about Marshall. We've already got one. Apparently we've signed Callum Marshall according to the Linfield website. We've already signed him. By far, indeed. He's a brilliant player, but he's going to cost an absolute shed load of money. So we're not going to get him. He'll go to a bigger team if he goes at all. Obviously, currently at Fiorentina. So there's a hell of a lot of players there. And then even defenders. We've something like 24 defenders. We've been linked with. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So ridiculous that what I do is I put together a little. Where is it? Where's my little video? Here's a little list of everyone we've been linked with in the last 4 weeks. See, it's quite a few in it. And I add to it every show. Ridiculous, isn't it? How many people? Good day, Kieran. I hope you're my friend. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know that film. Never heard that film. I went for the 1970s like comedy trailer. I thought that was quite an appropriate thing. As I said, I did a whole thing. We didn't start the rumors, and it had like all. I can't do the theme tune, but it was like Toysin Adaboa, Deli, Ali, Julia Alves. I'll try and do it live if I can remember next time. It's longer than my John Thompson. Fair enough. Just don't get your hopes. Oh, we don't get, mate. We're West Ham, innit? We never get our hopes up. Do you really think we're going to sign 70-odd players? Don't think so. Put the names up on a ball and throw through darts and see who turns up. Well, what we're going to do tomorrow, Neil, is on the show. It's on the lunchtime show, or our evening show for you. Is we're going to go through them all. We're going to go through them and do a tier list. It's funny because Pete spoke to me about tier lists today as well. But we do a tier list, so all of them there, and I'll give you my thoughts. Which ones have booked a taxi to London Stadium already, and which ones can we just kick off? Throw them in the sea. Isn't that the expression? Get in the sea. So there we go. Alternately, I swear. Dominic Solanke would be a good shout. Done well at Bournemouth. He's doing well at the moment. But no, I don't think we're looking at him. Anyway, guys, look, as I said, thank you so much for joining us. An hour and 10 minutes talking about transfers, and we all. And I know it's only a bit. I feel like a proper news presenter. And good night. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate your time as always. As I said, we'll be back tomorrow lunchtime. He wants to say for the lunchtime show. And we'll be doing tomorrow night 9 p.m. George McCartney's on the channel. We're doing a live Q&A, so come in, get your questions in. We'll try and go through as many questions as we can with George. George is a lovely guy. We could talk all about his time at West Ham, talk about what he thinks about the current squad, all that type of thing. Very good, Paul. Very good. Fu King No Wan. Very good. Gaz, I'm very well. Thank you very much for joining me. I've started an hour and a half late, but thank you very much. Cheers, Michael. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. Oh, lovely. If you're new, Andy, give it a like. Give it a like before you go. That's all you got to do. Give it a like. If you're new, Andy, give it a comment. Give it a share. Give it a subscribe. All that good stuff. Become a member again. If you haven't, if you have, please do. It helps support the channel, and going forward, we've got some big plans, some good guests coming up soon. Very, very good. Breaking news: West Ham. We indeed 14 million quid for redeveloping the West Stand. Apparently, I was reading today. So anyway, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Come on, you guys. As always, we'd like to thank all our channel members. As I said, we're currently redoing membership at the moment. Oh shit! I thought I had it already. There we go. We'd like to thank all of our channel members at the end of the shows. So take care and stay safe. Wash those hands. Don't forget to get those jab appointments. Don't forget to also. Oh, interesting. That'd be good. 22 million plus Sean Longstaff. Interesting. Thank you, David. Before you go, please give it a like. It's always nice to get it. Helps the channel out, helps boost up our on the algorithm, all that stuff. I don't bother talking to Still about algorithms. He hasn't got a clue. He thinks that's we trying to explain to him about his microphone. Jesus Christ. Been busy. Hope you're well. Go back and watch it all over again, mate. Go back and watch it all over. As always, I'd like to thank all our channel members and I'd like to thank them personally at the end of each show. So currently we've got obviously the new membership stuff going on. So take care and stay safe. Wash your hands. Bye-bye.
It's like a family tree.